Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talk English to Me, the podcast where we chat about all things English, from daily life to specific topics, helping you learn in a fun way.
That's right, Gautier. In today's episode, we're going to take you on a little journey to the supermarket. You'll hear some useful vocabulary and phrases for navigating those aisles, whether you're shopping for food, finding what you need, or just figuring out what all those labels mean.
So grab your shopping cart, put on your comfy shoes, and let's dive right in. It's time to talk English at the supermarket.
All right, so welcome everybody to another deep dive. Today, we're going to the supermarket.
To the supermarket.
We are going grocery shopping.
We are, yeah.
And this is inspired by a YouTube transcript that I found from the English Podcast Zone.
Okay.
And this is episode 5 from that podcast. It's called At the Supermarket.
At the supermarket.
So we're going to be listening, or reading, I should say.
Right.
And talking about the language and some of the cultural things that kind of come up.
Absolutely.
In the scenario where somebody's checking out at the supermarket.
That's right. Yeah. It's a very, very common experience.
Yeah, it is.
I think for almost everybody.
It is.
To go to the supermarket and buy groceries.
Unless you're,
Unless you're living off the land.
living off the grid or something.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly.
You're probably going to end up at a supermarket at some point. So the scenario here is the person's at the checkout and the cashier says, "Excuse me, sir, this is the express checkout lane."
Express checkouts.
For people that have 15 items or fewer.
15 items or fewer.
15 items or fewer.
It looks like you have more than 15 items there.
Oh, so right away we're already in the weeds.
Right into it.
Of the specific vocabulary here.
Right.
Express checkout lane as opposed to just the regular checkout lane.
Right.
This is the one that's supposed to be faster.
Right.
So there's a little bit of tension there, I think.
Right.
Built in right away.
Right away.
It's like, okay, I've got to get out of here quickly.
Right.
I'm in a hurry.
Right.
But oh no, this person has too many items.
Right. And they try to push it a little bit. They do. Say, "Oh, come on. I have 16 items.
Mm-hmm.
Cut me some slack.
Cut me some slack.
You'll cut me some slack."
That's a great phrase.
It's a good one.
And that's a very informal phrase.
Yes.
That basically means, like, don't be so strict with me. Yeah. Be a little bit, look the other way. Yeah. Bend the rules a little bit.
And exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, in the podcast episode, they explained that it comes from the idea of like mountain climbing.
Okay.
If the rope is too tight, then you can't really climb. You need a little slack in the rope.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, just give me a little bit of leeway here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't make it so hard.
Don't make it so hard on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one. And so then the cashier says,
"Okay.
Fine, please place your items on the belt.
Uh-huh.
And push your shopping cart through
The belt.
the belt."
Yeah.
Now this is...
that word can be confusing.
Yeah.
Because we think of a belt as something we wear.
Around our waist.
Around our waist, right?
Yeah.
But in this case, the belt is referring to
The conveyor belt.
the conveyor belt at the supermarket.
Yeah.
So make sure you know which belt.
Right. Yeah. Don't put your groceries on your waist.
Yeah, exactly.
Put them on the...
Don't try to like loop an apple around your waist.
Yeah, exactly. And then
Get used to that.
he says, "Do you prefer paper or plastic?"
Oh, yeah.
Paper or plastic?
This is the classic
supermarket
question.
Plastic.
And in this case, it's referring to the bags that they're going to put your groceries in.
The bags, yeah, and true. This is, I think, a question that you hear in America.
All the time.
All the time. Yeah, it's become like almost a cliche.
Yeah.
It's like part of the script.
Part of the script, yeah.
Of going to the supermarket.
Yeah.
Paper or plastic.
Right.
But
it also kind of reflects, I think, some of the environmental concerns that we have now.
Right.
Like paper is a little bit more environmentally friendly than plastic.
Although it takes more energy to make.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other debate, right?
That's a whole other deep dive.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Go anyway.
The shopper says, plastic.
Okay.
And then says, "I also have a couple of coupons." Coupons. Now, coupons are these little pieces of paper that offer discounts.
Exactly, they offer discounts
on various products. And, in America, they're very popular.
Very popular, yeah.
I mean, you can find them in the newspaper.
Yeah.
You can find them online. You can find them everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah. And I think the reason why they're so popular in America is because I think Americans love to feel like they're getting a deal.
Right.
You know, it's like,
yeah, it's like that.
even if it's just
Satisfaction.
a few cents.
Like 25 cents.
25 cents. Yeah, exactly.
It feels good.
Yeah. It's like a little psychological victory.
It is.
You know, like, haha, I got a deal.
Yeah, I beat the system.
I beat the system.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So.
Okay, so he's got his coupon.
He's got his coupons.
And he's feeling good.
He's feeling good.
He's about to save some money.
Ready to save.
But then the cashier says, "Sir, these coupons expired yesterday."
Uh-oh. Expired coupon.
Expired meaning
they're no longer valid.
no longer valid. Yeah.
Too old. Too old to use.
Too old, yeah.
You know, they have an expiration date.
It's like a credit card.
Like a credit card.
Or a driver's license.
Right.
Milk.
Milk. Yeah, all kinds of things.
Yeah, all kinds of things expire.
Just expire.
You know?
Yeah.
And these coupons, unfortunately, expired yesterday.
They did. And the shopper was like, darn. Oh, well, I guess it's just not my day.
It's just not my day.
Thanks. Anyway.
Yeah, and that phrase, "it's just not my day," is a great way to express like when...
Yeah, when things aren't going your way.
Things aren't going your way. Yeah. It's like...
Little things.
Just a series of minor mishaps.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just like, whatever.
It's not a huge tragedy.
Not a huge tragedy.
They just wanted one of those days.
That was one of those days.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then the cashier says, do you have a club card?
Club card.
Or will it be cash?
So club card...
That club card is
something that is very common.
It's like a loyalty card.
Yeah, it's a loyalty card that you get from a specific store.
Right.
So this grocery store...
It's like a credit card, but it's specific to this store.
That store.
Right.
And so if you use that card, then you get discounts.
Yeah, you get discounts.
Or you get points.
Yeah, you get points.
Yeah.
You get all kinds of
perks. And so it's a way for the store to encourage people to keep coming back to that store.
It's all about loyalty.
It's all about loyalty.
Yeah.
And also, it's a way for them to gather data.
Track your shopping habits.
Yeah.
So they know what you're buying,
right,
when you're buying it, how much you're buying, all that stuff.
Yeah. So it's a very strategic tool for retailers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So the shopper says, "Yeah, I got a club card. Here you go."
Here you go.
And then the cashier says, "Will this be debit or credit?"
Debit or credit.
Debit or credit.
So now we're talking about the payment method.
The payment method, yeah.
Right.
So debit card.
And the shopper says, "Please also, could I get cash back?"
Cash back.
$50 would be great.
Oh, cash back.
So cash back is another thing.
Yes. Very common in America.
Very common in America.
You know, this is where...
And it's super convenient.
It is super convenient.
Yeah.
You know, because you can essentially...
Instead of going to an ATM.
Yeah. You just get cash back.
Get cash from the cashier.
Yeah.
But it gets charged to your debit card.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you're just charging a little bit extra to the card.
Yeah.
And then you get the cash.
And then you get the cash.
Yeah.
You get the cash, So super convenient.
Okay.
And then, you know, the cashier processes the payment.
Gives
Gives the receipt.
Wishes
them a good day. Standard checkout experience. Yeah.
But the podcast episode went on to talk about some kind of cultural things that I thought were interesting. They pointed out that the cashiers very often are students. And specifically
college students.
College students, like working part-time jobs.
Working a part-time job or a summer job.
Right. And I thought that was...
Yeah, that's a very...
interesting because...
accurate. Yeah, and I've definitely seen that myself. But they went on to say that... sometimes where this person was from, it was more high school students. And that often the cashiers were young women. And the young men were often working...
In the back.
Stocking the shelves in the warehouse. So the warehouse, of course, is where they keep...
Is the big storage facility.
Yeah, all the stuff before it goes out on the shelves.
Exactly.
And stocking the shelves is
the act of...
putting all the merchandise.
Getting the items and putting them on the shelves for people to buy.
Yeah.
So.
And it's interesting that they pointed out, you know, that gender difference.
Yeah, why that would be the case.
Right. Like, why are the girls the cashiers?
Yeah.
And the boys are in the back.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It is interesting, yeah. And then Lacey, Shinny 5 days.
Yeah.
Coupons.
Again, they said coupons are huge in America.
Huge. Yeah.
Like, you can find coupons for almost anything.
For everything.
Yeah.
And they talked about finding them in the Sunday newspaper.
The Sunday newspaper.
And
yeah.
They gave examples of
like 2 cents off.
2 cents off.
25 cents off.
25 cents off.
Yeah.
And it's funny because
the idea is
that's not a lot of money.
That those little savings can add up over time. So it's like a long-term strategy.
Yeah. And some people are very strategic about it.
You're very strategic. Yeah. They
collect all the coupons.
All the coupons.
Try to get the best deal.
Try to maximize their savings,
Yeah, and I think there's something psychological about it.
I think there is too.
Because even if you're only saving a little bit of money,
even if just a few cents,
it still feels good.
It feels good. Yeah, it's like you outsmarted the system.
Yeah.
You got something for less.
You got a bargain.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we wrap this up, let's just quickly go over some of the vocabulary.
Yes, let's do a quick review.
And phrases that we talked about.
Okay, so from the language takeaway and the English pod audio review, we talked about checkout lane.
Checkout lane.
Which is the place where you line up to pay. Express checkout lane.
Express checkout lane.
For people with fewer items.
Right.
The belt.
The
conveyor belt.
The conveyor belt.
For your groceries.
Yeah. Coupons.
Coupons for discounts. Yeah. Expired.
Expired meaning too old to use.
Too old. Club card.
Club card. The loyalty card.
Loyalty card.
Cash back.
Cash back.
Getting cash from the cashier.
Right.
Stock.
To replenish.
Right. To put the stuff on the shelves.
The goods. Yeah.
Yeah.
And warehouse.
The storage place.
The storage place.
Okay. And then from the Fluency Builder and the English Pod audio review, we talked about cut me some slack.
Cut me some slack, meaning
don't be so strict.
Don't be so strict.
Yeah.
Do you prefer paper or plastic?
Yeah. The classic question about bags.
About bags.
And it's just not my day.
Just not my day.
Meaning you're having a little bit of bad luck.
Just a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So there you have it. We've deep dived into the language.
Yeah, we've taken a very common experience and we've dissected it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And found some interesting
nuggets.
Nuggets of language and culture.
Language and culture.
Yeah. Now we want to hear from you.
Yes.
What are your experiences with grocery shopping?
Like, what are your...
Have you ever used any of these phrases or encountered any of these cultural things?
Yeah, that we talked about.
And thinking about the future.
Yeah.
With the rise of...
Self-checkout. Digital coupons. How do you think the future...
The supermarket experience
is going to change? And is that a good thing or a bad thing?
What are we going to gain? What are we going to lose?
Right. Yeah. Things to think about. Well... That's all the time we have for today.
That's all the time we have.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for listening.
On another deep dive. See you next time.
All right, that's all for today, folks. We hope this episode helped you feel a bit more confident the next time you're walking through those supermarket doors.
Absolutely. From reading labels to asking for help, we've covered some essential language for your next shopping trip.
Remember, practice makes perfect. So try using some of these phrases next time you go grocery shopping. And don't forget to keep practicing your English.
Thanks for tuning in to Talk English to Me. We'll see you in the next episode.
Take care and happy shopping!